Everybody, this is Jody Underhill with Talent on Tap. I'm joined today by Steve. Tell us a little bit about your company, what you do, and kind of take it from there.
Yeah, absolutely, Jody. Good to be here. Appreciate you, brother. We're an electrical contractor. We focus mainly on service in the home. We're here in Altamont Springs, Florida. We're about a 20-person company.
So tell me, so what was going on whenever you decided to reach out to Talent on Tap?
Probably a lot of other home service businesses can relate to what I'm going to say here, but we found that the very hardest position to hire for in our organization was a technician, a selling technician. They're kind of like unicorns. We've gone through a whole lot of them, and we've been tweaking processes trying to figure out, like, how do you find the right candidate, right? Like, how do you get a guy that wants to learn, is willing to learn, has the right characteristics and attributes to be worthy, and know that you're not just dumping resources in for it to not work out a few months later. So that was what we were faced with. We found you guys, I think it was at Home Service Freedom or Pantheon. I actually sat at a table with you,
Yep.
and I heard from a couple other people that had good results from you guys, and decided to check you out. But that's what we were facing. And
Cool. So how's it been since you started working with us?
yeah, so it's been great. We really, really have enjoyed the partnership with you guys. We started in December, and we've made two solid hires for technicians so far. So, it's been really amazing. Both of them, one of them's hit the ground running. The other one's still onboarding, but in the next 2 to 3 weeks, he will be on the ground running as well. And I expect the same results from the second guy as the first guy. The first guy's doing amazing. One of our fastest onboarded techs, and he's crushing it. The results have been amazing, and we're excited to keep getting more awesome hires from you guys.
Cool. So what surprised you about the service?
Okay, so probably the biggest surprise was the video interviews that the candidates do, and they are like a game changer. I could never go back to hiring people without video interviews on there, because it really gives us insight into how the candidate interacts, who the candidate is, what you can expect, like how he or she speaks, how, I don't want to say likable, but how likable they are. And, basically just what you're going to have out there if you hire this person in a customer's home or business. So it's awesome from that regard. And then in another regard, it also shortened our interview process, believe it or not, because really, like, we count that as the first interview, because we get all the information from them, and we're able to make better hiring decisions and be a little bit more nimble. So if there is a player out there, which is what we're all looking for, right? Like, we're able to snag them up before somebody else did, because they've already gone through that process. Another really cool thing about that process is the guys and girls that have gotten to that point, like, they're dedicated, and that they're able to follow instructions and get there. So we found, like, by the time they get to that point, like, the quality of candidate is actually a whole lot better than what we've seen in the past before that process was in place. So
Right.
thank you for that, Jody.
Oh yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's our favorite thing.
That's cool. Yeah, and sometimes sometimes we call it the video interview follies, because sometimes they say funny stuff as well. Or sometimes you can just look at it and go, nope, next. So so that does streamline it, make it really quickly, because as we've said, you could have the best application and the most amazing resume and the best skills assessment ever. But if they don't look like somebody that you would send into your mother's home without you being there, it's not really going to be a fit, right? So yeah, it does actually do that. Cool. So Steve, what would you say to somebody that's thinking about using Talent on Tap?
So if you are looking for top candidates, if you're looking for the A players, you need to talk to them. I always like to say, like, what's working for us, I like to let other people know so they can take advantage of it too. And, just help, like, what do they say? A rising tide raises all ships.
Yep.
So if I'm out there and I'm experiencing something good, which I am with Talent on Tap, I would tell everybody that's looking for people to give them a try. And if you hate it, don't use them anymore, but I don't think you will. So
Yeah, if you hate it, we're the first ones to tell you. On the incoming, we're the first ones to tell people a lot of times if we don't think it's going to be a fit.
yeah,
Because what we do isn't for everyone, but we want to make sure that in the situations of what you're looking for, that what we have will actually work. So Steve, I
Absolutely.
appreciate it, man. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and we continue to bring you more and more people.
Yeah, absolutely. And I didn't get a chance to mention it yet, but I definitely want to say it. The team over there is awesome. So Jasmine's our CSM, customer success manager, and she's awesome. Like she goes through all the candidates. Like I love the way that she's gotten to know our brand and like what we're really looking for in candidates. And she's able to, go through and take a look and say, hey, Steve, like she's picked up the phone and called me multiple times, said, hey, Steve, got a candidate that just came through that I think you really need to look at. And she's been spot on. So the attention to detail is really great too. And, you got an amazing team over there, Jody. So
I appreciate it. We'll make sure they see it as well. I appreciate it. Cool, man. Thanks.
absolutely. Well, hey, thank you so much.